Audrii Cunningham's grandfather, Captain Philip L. Munsch, reached out to reporter Marcelino Benito of KHOU 11, providing photos of Audrii. Her grandfather also told Marcelino via email that he's been viciously attacked on social media, along with Audrii's dad, Joshua Cunningham. They're hoping that by starting to comment publicly, the controversy will start to die down, said the reporter. At some point next week, Munsch tells the KHOU 11 reporter they do plan to do interviews and answer questions. People have been waiting for Audrii's dad and grandpa to speak out. However, will the new interviews help their tarnished public images? Folks are furious that Audrii's family allowed her to be anywhere near a man like Don Stephen McDougal. Case followers are also furious at the notion that Cassie Matthews, Audrii's mother, may have been kept away from her 11-year-old daughter for much of her short life. Cassie has spoken out quite a bit, recently talking with Nancy Grace, telling Nancy that she's used to a lot of crazy things from Audrii's dad's side of the family. Cassie told Nancy that Audrii's dad kept her own daughter from her by manipulating the court system. Cassie said that Joshua's mom went from stuttering to hurriedly getting off the phone the day Audrii went missing when Cassie confronted her, asking where McDougal was after he asked Cassie if she knew where Audrii was that day. As for Audrii's dad's side of the family, they've been notably missing from the press. The dad's side of the family issued a statement claiming Audrii's death occurred at the hands of a monster they thought was a friend. However, many members of social media have criticized Audrii's dad for not coming out in public and facing the cameras. Will Audrii's dad and grandfather eventually give interviews next week, like they told KHOU 11? Stay tuned. In the meantime, following is a video that I had previously published on February 21st, 2024, which YouTube removed because they thought it violated the policy on personally identifiable information, even though the email address I showed in the video was my own email address, along with the address of the Polk County Jail in official documents. The video was titled Don Stephen McDougal 9-page affidavit for 2/16/24 arrest for 8/19/23 incident against David Stanley. I think it's important to have all the evidence of McDougal's victims out there, so I'm once again uploading this video to follow. I simply won't include any emails or documents on the screen in order to make YouTube happy. That guy stabbed me 3 times in the back in August, and the sheriff's department has still not charged him for it, wrote David Stanley on Facebook about Don Stephen McDougal before Audrii Cunningham was found. Whatever happens to that little girl is on their hands. I gave them the description of this vehicle back in August after he stabbed me, and they are just now charging him for it. On February 20th, 2024, the same day that 11-year-old Audrii was recovered from the Trinity River in Livingston, Texas, about 10 miles from her home near Lake Livingston in a rural area north of Houston, I received information on McDougal's arrest that landed him in jail on Friday. The Records Division of the Polk County Sheriff's Office in Texas sent me the following information regarding Don Stephen McDougal, who was recently charged with capital murder in the death of 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham. Ma'am, read the email from February 20th, 2024. This is all we can release at this time regarding Don McDougal. I had previously sent them a Freedom of Information Act request that read, "This is a formal public records request for the body cam and dash cam videos of the arrest of the following individual. Don Stephen McDougal, age 42, white male, is in custody at the Polk County Jail with a booking date of February 16th, 2024 at 11:50 p.m. CST, Polk County Jail, 1733 North Washington, Livingston, Texas. 77351. My FOIA continued. Prior to McDougal's capital murder charge being added, he is charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Offense date is listed as February 16, 2024, and the arresting agency is listed as Polk County Sheriff's Office, Livingston, Texas. I was sent information about case number 4, the felony 2 aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for McDougal's previous stabbing victim. I have not yet been sent any body-worn camera videos nor dash cam videos of his most recent arrest. It reads in part that Don Stephen McDougal on or about August 19, 2023, intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly caused bodily injury to David Stanley by stabbing Stanley in the back area, and the defendant used or exhibited a deadly weapon, namely knife, during commission of the assault. Deputies responded to an assault call on Farm to Market, the home of the victim, in Livingston. The victim identified a past known associate as Rachel, who came to his home with an unknown white male requesting assistance with their vehicle that broke down a short distance from his home. The victim drove in his personal vehicle Rachel and McDougal to their vehicle, at which time Rachel and McDougal felt the battery was dead and needed to be jumped. As the victim was attempting to place jumper cables on the broke-down vehicle, McDougal placed the keys in the ignition, at which time the victim stated the headlights became bright and a dinging sound from the key was sounded, so the battery was not dead. David attempted to roll up his cables when McDougal walked behind him and stabbed him in the back with what he believed to be a knife. The victim was able to run back to his home to get away from the actor and Rachel to contact 911 for assistance and medical attention. David, the victim, was aware of the identity of Rachel, but not the male until he later observed a jail photo after the arrest of McDougal. McDougal and Rachel are known associates and are known to run together. McDougal was incarcerated in the Polk County Jail, and Affiant Detective Lieutenant Craig Finnegan attempted to interview McDougal about the stabbing incident, which he refused to talk about. On February 16, 2024, David learned of McDougal being suspected to be involved in an unrelated criminal matter. Seeing his photo as a suspect, and again called Detective Finnegan, identifying McDougal again as the person who stabbed him on the night of August 19, 2023, while being with Rachel, Detective Finnegan shows through investigation that there is sufficient evidence to show that on the date of August 19, 2023, McDougal was present at the time of the assault on David Stanley, did in fact cause injury to David by stabbing him with a weapon believed to be a sharp knife instrument. Here's more of McDougal's inmate mugshot and SMT picture history from only 2 of his many offenses. And here's his Polk County Jail booking report showing the same Lakeside Drive address in Livingston, Texas, where Audrii once lived. McDougal is listed as having blue eyes, red or auburn hair, a fair complexion, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighing 180 pounds. He's 42 years of age and his place of birth is Houston. For occupation, it says that McDougal is disabled. The confine reason is listed as 10 booking general. The confinement notes have a description that reads, after release from HLUC, inmate needs to be placed either in protective custody or segregation. Inmate has 2 enticing a child felony convictions. The affidavit submitted for probable cause determination lists an arrest date of February 16, 2024, with an arrest time of 6:30 p.m. The possible risk of harming himself is listed as no. Does offense involve domestic violence? No, it reads, indeed, because this victim was not one that McDougal lived with or purportedly even knew, unlike the situation with Audrii, whereby McDougal was allowed to live in a camper on the property where the little girl lived and likely used every opportunity to gain her trust. Was vehicle towed? No, it says. The warrant of arrest for the state of Texas versus Don Stephen McDougal is also dated February 16, 2024. If you want to read the document that the Sheriff's Department sent me, the entire 9-page document has been uploaded to Patreon at the link below. I have taken further steps to redact private information about McDougal's victim, David, along with information about McDougal's emergency contact person's cell phone number. It is not clear when McDougal will make his next court appearance. As we learned from yesterday's sad and somber press conference, there was quite a bit of controversy over whether or not McDougal led authorities to Audrii's remains or not. Either way, I plan to follow this case closely and watch Audrii receive her justice from heaven. According to CNN, a new criminal complaint says a large rock was found tied around Audrii's body when her remains were discovered. The rope used was consistent with rope that was observed in McDougal's vehicle on a traffic stop 2 days prior, the court document states. Neither the court documents filed Wednesday nor jail records list an attorney for McDougal. Matthew 18:5-6, Jesus said, "And whoever welcomes a little child like this in my name welcomes me. But whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to stumble in sin by leading him away from my teaching, it would be better for him to have a heavy millstone as large as one turned by a donkey hung around his neck and to be drowned in the depth of the sea."